Hello students, welcome back. This video is for class 6 and it's a continuation of the last video, that is the Vedic civilization. Today we are going to learn about the social life of Aryans and the occupations or the kind of lifestyle they lead during the Vedic civilization. Alright, in the last class we covered these topics: the Aryans and the Vedic Civil Age, early Aryan settlement, Aryan literature, the Vedas, Aryan religion and political organization. Today we will look into the social life of the Aryans, which will cover about the family, the village, social class, occupation, food, clothing and ornament, sports and entertainment, and the 4 stages of life. Alright, so let us begin with the family. Griha was one component or one place where they lived. Griha was the dwelling place. Basically, Griha was house. They lived in joint families. Unlike today's time where people want to live in nuclear families, earlier they preferred living in joint family and they had no option. They had to live in joint families. The eldest male member, that is the head of the family, was called as the Grihapati. Now the word Grihapati means Griha is house and Pati is the husband, the male of the family. So the eldest male member was considered the head of the family and he was called as the Grihapati. Women were treated well, they were given all the opportunities in terms of religious ceremonies. They were given education as well, and they were made a part of all the rituals that were held. Or rather, no ritual was held without the presence of the women. Women composed hymns, just like the other sages, the male did composed hymn. Even the women composed hymn, and some of them were Apala, Kosha and Vishwavara. These are the names of those women who composed devotional hymns. Now during the Vedic age, there was no child marriage or parda system that people practiced. So small kids were not, or children were not pushed into marriage or they did not practice what then was practiced later, the parda system. Now moving on to the village. The early Aryans were basically the tribal people. So they were the tribal people who lived in villages. The village was called as Gram. You must have heard of Gram Sabha. So the village was called as Gram. And the head of the village was called as Gramini. So the chief of the village, who controlled every affair of the village, was called as Gramini. Everything that would happen in the village had to be passed on through the Gramini, and he would approve, and only then it would be practiced. Moving on to social classes. Now, during the early Vedic age, there was something called as Varna Vyavastha. Now we know of what Varna is like. There is a hierarchy that is being followed from the ancient time. That is from the time of early Vedic age. So there was something called as Varna Vyavastha. Initially, Varna only meant distinction between the Aryans and the non-Aryans. Now under non-Aryans, there were dasas and dasyus. These were the slaves or the servants. There was no similarity between the non-Aryans and Aryans. So there was distinction done on the basis of color. Aryans were fair-skinned and non-Aryans were dark-skinned. The dasas or the slaves had an inferior position in the society. They were not given all the privileges that the Aryans would get. So the non-Aryans, who were also called as dasas, had an inferior position in the society. However, there was no rigid caste system or occupation followed during the early Vedic age or early Aryans. Okay, they did not have a rigid system that they follow. They could choose the kind of occupation that they need to practice or they wanted to practice, or they could choose the caste system that they wanted to join. So it wasn't rigid. Hymns of Rig Veda, that is, I am a poet, my father is a physician, and my mother is a grinder of corn, proves that there was no fixed occupation that was being followed, or there was no occupation that was put forward from father to son or mother to daughter. They could choose the kind of occupation that they wanted to follow. And this line from Rig Veda proves it very clearly. It says, I am a poet, my father is a physician, and my mother is a grinder of corn. In later Vedic period, professions became hereditary and Varna Vyavastha developed into rigid caste system. So later on what happened was, since there were a lot of clashes, since they did not have a particular hierarchy that was followed, they made it a point that they made professions and Varna Vyavastha very rigid. So only a doctor's son could become doctor. No one else could become doctor, it was not allowed. So profession became hereditary and Varna Vyavastha developed into rigid caste system. So if one had to be born in Brahmin caste, they would have to follow all the norms of that particular caste. Profession was practiced according to caste or Varna. So only a Brahmin could become a priest, only a member from Kshatriya community or caste would become the king or the warrior. The Vaishyas could not follow the Brahmin norms, nor the Brahmin could follow Kshatriya or Vaishya norms. Hence, they had their distinctions done in terms of caste and occupation. So only Brahmins practiced religious ceremonies, kings and warriors were called as Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas practiced trading, farming, and they were the craftsmen. Whereas the Shudras were the menial workers and had a low status in the society. So this was the hierarchy that was followed later on. So this is the division of society during the Vedic times. That is, the first were the Brahmins, who were the priests mainly, then the Kshatriyas, who were the warriors, then came the Vaishyas, who were merchant, landowners, traders, and the Shudras, who were the commoners, the peasants, and the servants. Now let's move on to the occupation that these Aryans followed. One of the most important occupations during that age was agriculture. They had a lot of knowledge about the different seasons. They also had come up with plough of wood. Earlier they would use plough made of metal, but then they came up with ploughs made of wood. They had knowledge in fertilizers and manures, so the farmers knew what fertilizers to be used in order to yield the crop. Mainly grew wheat, barley and rice and produced cotton, fruits and vegetables. So this was their occupation. They would grow wheat, barley and rice and then produce cotton and fruits and vegetables. Now only the Vaishyas or the main people in the village would practice agriculture. The Shudras were not allowed to practice agriculture. Other than agriculture, the other occupation that was followed was weaving, carpentry, pottery, making ornaments, and one of the most important thing during that age was no profession was regarded as below dignity. So they were respected regardless of whichever occupation they followed. Domestication of animals was another occupation. So they domesticated cow, oxen, horses, goat and sheep. A cow was worshipped by the Aryans. If you've seen, even now, the Hindus worship cow. They consider it as a holy animal and they refrain from harming cow or selling cow just like that. So they worshipped cow, and during that age a lot of fights took place because of cow, because some believed in in sacrificing cow, whereas some believe that cow should not be sacrificed since it is considered holy. So there was a lot of fights during that time. Cow was called Agnya. So it was termed as Agnya. It was considered holy. Besides that, they also practiced trade. They used horse and bullock carts to trade crops, whatever they produced. Coins and currencies did not exist at that time, and therefore they had to practice barter system. So whatever they purchased, they would exchange it with cow. So cows were the standard value to exchange. They bartered things in exchange of cow. A sort of coin which was called as niksha was used during those days. Let's move on to the kind of food they consume. The earlier Aryans ate wheat, barley and rice. They also cultivated and consumed fruits and vegetables. They drank milk and consumed a lot of ghee. Soma and Sura were the two intoxicating drinks which the Aryans consumed. Soma was the plant, and the juice that was taken out from that plant is called as Sura. Clothing and ornaments. So the Aryans had a typical way of dressing up. So they had 2 or 3 pieces of clothing made of cotton, wool and sometimes of animal skin. The women wore saris and the men wore dhoti and turban. Both the men and women were quite fond of ornaments, jewelries, which were made mostly of gold, silver or other metals, especially like anklets, bracelets, bangle, necklaces. Male and female both used to wear ornaments. Sports and entertainment. The main sport that the Aryans practiced or followed was chariot racing, horse racing and wrestling. There were no sports, the kind of sports that we have during our time or at now present. Earlier they would only practice or they had kind of sports like chariot racing, horse racing and wrestling. Gambling was one of the pastime games during that age. They were also skilled in dancing, music, playing drum, playing veena and bansuri. So they had a lot of knowledge in music and dance. Now coming to the important part of the Aryan lifestyle or the Vedic civilization is the 4 stages of life, which is the ashramas. Life of the Aryans in the later Vedic period was divided into 4 stages, which was called as ashramas. Each stage was for 25 years and there were special tasks assigned to those who wanted to follow these 4 stages. The first stage is brahmacharya. Brahmacharya basically means gaining knowledge. So it focused mainly on learning as a student. So they had a teacher, guru and shishya. So they had a relationship of guru and shishya. The guru would teach and the shishya would learn. Living with the teacher in the gurukul. So what they would do is they had to live in the gurukul itself, the place where the guru would be, and the shishya had to be there so that he could gain knowledge from the guru. They led a simple life with discipline, obedience and respect for teachers like parents. So they had to respect their guru. The gurus also considered the shishyas as their own children, and they had to follow certain discipline. They were inculcated values of discipline, obedience and respect to everyone. The next stage is grihastha. It began after one could gain knowledge from the guru. It begins after completing the studies and getting into the life of marriage and family. So after the first stage, that is the brahmacharya, one would enter into the second stage, that is grihastha. He would be married and he would lead his family life. The third stage is Vanaprastha. Vana means forest. So he had to leave everything, his family, his house, and had to move into the forest where he had to learn things, also, give out whatever he has learned from his guru. After fulfilling family responsibilities, a person entered the third stage. He led a lonely life and devoted his time to religious meditation and charitable work. So whatever he would learn in the first stage from his guru, he had to preach it to the other people who were around, also engage himself in religious meditation and charitable work. The last stage is sannyas, period of total retirement from worldly pleasure. So the person who would engage himself or follow these four stages had to come to this last stage, that is sannyas, where he had to give up on everything. So he could not live with his family, he could not have a relation with the family, and he had to lead his life alone, giving away all the worldly pleasure. He led the life of hermit or sannyas. He had to continue the religious meditation and move from one place to another. So he did not get all the comfort that the other people who lived with the family would get. So with this we come to the end of our Vedic civilization. Students, I hope you've understood the entire chapter. If you have any difficulty, please feel free to revert back. Thank you.